Well, as if the week for Isaac Dulgarian couldn't get any worse, he loses this fight. On top of that, he gets released from the UFC. And then on top of that, he's now being investigated by the FBI. Okay, so Dulgarian's release by the UFC was following a lopsided first round loss to Yadir Del Valle of UFC Vegas 110, right? Which was headlined by Garcia and Onama. While the loss is one thing, the bout right now is the center of the attention for everybody, okay? Considering the betting odds had shifted in a huge way from Dulgarian to Del Valle within the closing hours, with swings upwards to 100 points heading towards Del Valle's side. Now, according to Ariel Helwani, the official reason why he was released was just the loss in and of itself, although gambling rumors surrounding this whole entire thing appear to be hanging over the bout. Okay, so obviously other news outlets out there, such as MMA Fighting, has reached out to UFC's Dulgarian's management team, along with the IC360, which is formerly known as US Integrity, which is the official betting integrity service for the UFC. Now, as of now, there's no response or statement that has been given regarding this particular subject. IC360 was announced back in 2023 as an official partner, months after Derek Minor was defeated by Shaylon Nurembetic at UFC Vegas 64 in November 2022, which also saw a late shift in the betting odds prior to the bout. Nurembeck stopped Minor in the first round, which led to an investigation and a suspension followed for Minor and his coach, James Krause, from the Athletic Commissions of Nevada, which later, by the way, got James Krause into a lot of trouble and put him in prison.
Probably from the last decade was the suspension of MMA coach and former fighter James Krause over alleged fight fixing inside the UFC. This year, on March 25th, 2025, this story finally had a glimpse of closure when UFC vets and Glory MMA teammates Jeff Molina and Derek Minner were handed their punishment after 29 months, while there's still no verdict on James Krause's future. While a good fighter and a great coach at Glory MMA, James Krause proved to be an outstanding MMA bettor.
Ortega is a little hittable, and if this fight hits the ground, he's subbing Yair fast. Ortega inside the distance as well. Plus money, that's going to be hard to turn down.
All right, so worth noting, in December 2022, UFC Chief Business Officer Hunter Campbell revealed that Krause and Minor's suspensions and Minor's outright release from the promotion, and also proclaimed that any fighter associated with Krause, by the way, will not be allowed to participate. The resolution of government investigations have concluded. Now, since then, not a lot has come about this situation. Now, since the fight on Saturday, Dulgarian has had to speak on the performance or the rumors that have been going on. But here's my take on this particular subject, right? Sometimes some fights are just way overmatched, and I think that is what is going on here. However, because due to the scandals that's going on right now, due to the inflation that is going on, the economic issues that's going on in America, people are tempted to go out and gamble. And then you want to talk about fighter pay, the fact that these fighters don't make a lot of money. There's a lot of scandals that's really open for a lot of people to take that particular temptation. And then on top of that, you had the NBA investigated for fixing games, which is crazy.
Coaches, what you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing.
Between December 2022 and March 2024, these defendants perpetrated a scheme to defraud by betting on inside, non-public information about NBA athletes and teams. The non-public information included when specific players would be sitting out future games, or when they would pull themselves out early for purported injuries or illnesses. They relied on corrupt individuals, including Jones and Rosier. They also misused information obtained through long-standing friendships that they had with NBA players and coaches. And in at least one instance, they got their information by threatening a current player, Porter, because of his pre-existing gambling debts. Defendants used this non-public information to place hundreds of thousands of dollars in fraudulent bets, mostly in the form of prop bets on individual player performance. The bets were placed through online sports books and also in person at casinos.
But as you
Well, now that was the FBI and Chauncey Billups being investigated, and the entire NBA, well, not the entire NBA, but a portion of the NBA, or just a few names in there. By the way, just a couple of things that you notice, right? We're talking about knowledge of injuries, knowledge of when a player is able to play or not play, or this, that, and the other. Basically using the knowledge that you have of the game and insider information to basically win bets. Now, I told you that there's a lot of motivation for many people to engage in this, right? There's the economic crisis that's going on right now, the EBT and the SNAP shortage or outage that they have going on with the government shutdown. So there's a lot of factors that's going to drive many people to take these illegal routes, okay?
This fight was fixed. Okay, apparently tons of money came in on Yadier Del Valle, even though he was a big underdog. So everyone's calling the fix. I'll tell you what, I commentated the fight. It did not look like Isaac Dulgarian was not trying. It looked like Yadier Del Valle has got a bright future in this sport because he's 10-0, he's undefeated, he's big, he's strong, he's a black belt in BJJ. But of course, the toxic Twitter MMA fan base is going to do what they do. But that was not a fake. That wasn't a setup. You know, that wasn't a fix. Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but I haven't looked into it. I haven't done my homework. I just finished commentating, rode here with DC, and now here I am talking about it. Before that, Charles Radke versus Daniel Front.
And I can understand that if they need time to collect the facts because of it being a highly delicate situation, and them and other entities involved in this as well, then I think, you know, some level of understanding of that is actually quite important. Fine, fair enough. But at some point, they need to comment about this, and pretty quickly, too. The clock is ticking. I mean, understanding something, betting is a part of sports now, and as I've indicated on this channel many times, the relationship between combat sports and betting is much more long-standing and robust than it is for other sports. But the truth is, the system only works if the integrity of it can be maintained, which means there has to be effective enforcement for rule breakers. Now, again, facts need to be collected about this situation, and there is a lot that we still do not know. But to the extent that laws, frankly, were violated here, they have to be met with the harshest punishment imaginable. I mean, it's kind of a weird coincidence, or maybe it's not, but Dulgarian used to train with James Krause. I mean, it's just a number of red flags here that at the absolute bare minimum demand that we look into this situation without any hesitation whatsoever.
Wow. So he trained with James Krause. That is big. But even with that suspicion, you still have to look into the facts. Okay. And we don't know anything yet. It could just be the fact that Del Valle is an undefeated fighter going into this, right? And he's not undefeated for no reason. Look, when you're undefeated in MMA, it means something. When you're undefeated in boxing, it just means that you're a prospect coming up. So we don't really know. Until now, this is all that we have right now in terms of information and in terms of the facts and the figures that are surrounding this whole entire story. All we know right now is that he is released from the UFC. There is no word of why he's released from the UFC other than loss, and that is all that we can go off of right now. And with that in mind, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one, inshallah.